Welcome to this beginner tutorial series on Microsoft Excel. When you open Excel, the first thing you see is the Start screen, where you can create a new blank workbook or choose from templates. A workbook is like a file in Excel, and inside each workbook you have worksheets. A worksheet is made up of rows and columns, and where they intersect you have cells. Each cell can hold text, numbers, or formulas. At the very top of Excel, you will see the title bar, which shows the name of your workbook. Below that, you will see the ribbon, which has tabs like Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, and more. Each tab contains groups of commands that help you perform different tasks. On the left side, you'll find the Quick Access toolbar, which gives shortcuts for save, undo, and redo. At the bottom of Excel, you'll find the status bar, which shows information like average, sum, and count of selected cells. In this beginner series, we will explore all of these tools step by step. A workbook in Excel is the file where all your data and worksheets are stored. To create a new workbook, open Excel and choose Blank Workbook. This gives you a fresh, empty spreadsheet to work with. If you are already working in Excel and want to open a new workbook, click on File, and then New. It will also open a blank workbook. To save your workbook, go to the File tab and click Save As. Choose the location where you want to save the file. Type a name for your workbook in the file name box. Click Save, and your workbook is now stored on your computer. If you want to save quickly after making changes, click the Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar. To open an existing workbook, go to the File tab and click Open. You can browse your computer for the workbook and then click the file to open it. On the home screen, you can also select the file from Recent File List. Remember, always save your work regularly to avoid losing data. A workbook can contain one or more worksheets. You can see workbook name on the title bar. At the bottom of Excel, you will see worksheet tabs. The number of sheets can be increased by click plus sign. You can switch between sheets. Each worksheet is like a page where you can enter and organize your data. Rows run horizontally across the sheet and are labeled with numbers. Columns run vertically down the sheet and are labeled with letters. The intersection of a row and a column forms a cell. Each cell has a unique address made up of its column letter and row number. For example, the cell in column B in row 3 is called B3. Cells can hold numbers, text, or formulas. You can select a cell by clicking on it. You can move to another cell using the arrow keys on your keyboard. Understanding this structure is the foundation of working in Excel. To enter data, click on a cell and start typing. You can type numbers, text, or even dates. After typing, press Enter or arrow key to move down to the next cell. Press Tab or arrow key to move right to the next cell. If you made a mistake or want to edit the cell, double-click on the cell. To come out of the cell, press Enter. You can also select the cell and edit the content in the formula bar at the top. To delete the contents of a cell, select the cell and press the Delete key. To replace data, simply type new content into the cell. You can also copy and paste data between cells using the right-click menu. Excel makes data entry quick and flexible for all types of information. AutoFill allows you to quickly fill a series of numbers, dates, or text. Let us see some examples. Type the number 1 in a cell. Then type 2 in the next cell below it. Select both cells. Then drag the fill handle down to automatically continue the series. You can also use AutoFill for days of the week or months of the year. Type the Monday in a cell. Then type Tuesday in the next cell below it. Select both cells. Then drag the fill handle down to automatically complete the week. Similarly, type the January in a cell. Then type February in the next cell below it. Select both cells. Then drag the fill handle down to automatically complete the months. Flash Fill is another smart feature in Excel. It recognizes patterns in your data and automatically fills in the rest. For example, we have a column with full names, and you want to separate them in first name and second name. Do the first entry yourself. To fill the other cells, click in the first name cell and press Ctrl E. Similarly, click in the second name cell and, instead of using keyboard shortcut, go to the Data tab and click Flash Fill. These features save time and reduce errors when entering data. First, enter a few numbers in your worksheet. Select the cells with numbers. On the Home tab, in the Number group, you'll see a drop-down box with General written by default. To display your numbers as currency, click the Currency option. Your numbers will now have a symbol, such as the $sign, along with decimal places. Next, let's turn numbers into percentages. Click the % Style button or from drop arrow menu select %. For example, the number 0.5 will instantly become 50%. Now let's change numbers into dates. To change a number into date, select the cell containing the number. Then click on the arrow sign from Number group on the ribbon. From the left side panel, select Date. On the right side, scroll down the list to select from different formats of dates, like short format or long. To change a number into time, select the cell containing the number. From the left side panel, select Time. On the right side, scroll down the list to select from different formats of time. Your number will be displayed as hours and minutes. Let's begin with Merge and Center. We have Table of Monthly Report. Let us give it a heading. We want this heading to be large and in center. The best way to do it to use Merge option. Select two or more cells where you want to place a heading. On the Home tab, in the Alignment group, click Merge and Center. The cells combine into one, and your text appears neatly in the center. Let's make the text bold and change the font size. That's beautiful. Now let's use wrap text. Type a long sentence into a cell. The text is overlapping other cells. To fix this problem, click the Wrap Text button in the Alignment group. The text will automatically move to the next line inside the same cell, making it fully visible without spilling into other cells. Finally, let's change text orientation. Type some text in the cell. Select a cell and click the Orientation button in the Alignment group. You can rotate the text vertically, angle it diagonally, or flip it for unique designs. Now let us merge the cells and change the background. Merge and center, wrap text, and orientation give you full control over how text looks in your spreadsheet. First, let's add borders. Select a group of cells that you want to format. Go to the Home tab. In the Font group, click the Borders button. Click Bottom Border to add a line under the cells. Click Top Border to add a line above the cells. Click Left Border to add a line on the left side. Click Right Border to add a line on the right side. To place borders on all sides, let me select Thick Border Outside. For advanced options, click More Borders. Here you can pick different line styles and colors to customize the border. Select Style for the border. And then select red color, or color of your choice. From the presets, you may want to change border area. Now let's apply shading. Keep the same cells selected. Go to the Home tab. In the Font group, click the Borders button. And click the Fill Color button. Pick a background color. The selected cells now have a yellow background. Change it again to light blue. Now the background turns blue. You can try different colors to highlight important data. Finally, let's try cell styles. On the Home tab, go to the Styles group. Click Cell Styles. Choose Good to mark data with a green highlight. Choose Bad to mark data with a red highlight. Or choose Neutral for a softer yellow style. Cell styles combine font, color, and borders in just one click. Borders, shading, and cell styles make your worksheet more attractive and easier to read. First, select a cell or a group of cells that you want to format. Go to the Home tab and in the Font group, click the drop-down menu for Font. Here, you can select a different style like Aptus, Arial Black, or Arial Narrow. The text in your cell instantly changes to the selected font. Next, let's adjust the font size. In the same font group, click the Size drop-down and choose a larger or smaller number. You will see the text become bigger or smaller depending on your selection. You can also use the Increase Font Size button to make it bigger step by step. Or use the Decrease Font Size button to make it smaller gradually. Now let's make the text bold. Click the Bold button or press Ctrl B on your keyboard. To make it italic, click the Italic button or press Ctrl I. For underlining, click the Underline button or use Ctrl U. You can also change the font color. Click the Font Color button and select a new color such as blue, red, or green. Your text will immediately take on the new color. Finally, let's work on alignment. In the Alignment group, click Align Left to move text to the left side of the cell. Click Center to place it in the middle. Or click Align Right to move it to the right side. You can also change vertical alignment. click top align to push text to the top, middle align to keep it centered vertically, or bottom align to place it at the bottom of the cell. Sorting allows you to organize your worksheets so information is easier to read and analyze. In our example, we have a table with 3 columns: employee, department, and salary. Let's start by sorting the data by employee name. We'll begin with the simplest option, A to Z sorting. Simply select any cell inside the employee column, then go to the Home tab on the ribbon, and in the editing group click Sort A to Z. This sorts the names alphabetically. As you can see, the first employee is now Alice, followed by Bob, and then Charlie. Now let's look at the reverse order, Z to A sorting. Again, select a cell in the column and choose Sort Z to A. This reverses the order, text from Z down to A, numbers from largest to smallest, and dates from newest to oldest. Now John appears first, followed by Ian, and then Hannah. Sometimes, you need more control, and that's where custom sort comes in. Suppose we want to sort the table first by department and then within each department by employee. To do this, go to the Home tab and click the Custom Sort button. The Sort dialog box will appear. Here you can choose the column to sort by. In our case, we'll select Department. Next, under Sort On, you can decide whether to sort by values, cell color, font color, or conditional formatting icon. We'll choose Values. Then, under Order, select A to Z. After clicking OK, the table is now sorted department-wise. First is Finance, then HR, and then IT. Within the Finance department, notice how Bob comes first, followed by Eve, and then Grace. You can also add multiple levels of sorting. For example, first sort by department, then add another level to sort by salary, choosing to order from smallest to largest. Now the table is sorted by department, and within each department, employees are arranged with lower salaries at the top, moving down toward higher salaries. This multi-level sorting is especially useful when working with large datasets where one simple sort isn't enough. I have this sheet filled with dummy data. The top row has headings like serial number, department, salary, address, and many more columns. The problem is that when you have a table with many rows or columns, the headings disappear as you scroll. I want the header row to remain visible. Freezing panes lets you keep those headings visible at all times. Go to the View tab. Then click Freeze Panes. From here, you can choose Freeze Top Row to keep the first row visible. Now you can see, when I scroll up and down, the header row remains in the same place all the time. Similarly, if you want a column to be visible all the time, you can freeze the first column. Go to the View tab. Then click Freeze Panes. From here, choose Freeze First Column. Now you can see, when I scroll left and right, the first column remains in the same place all the time. Now, what if you want to freeze both rows and columns at a certain point in the sheet? In our example, I want to freeze all the rows above row 12 and all the columns to the left of column H. To do this, place your cursor below and to the right of where you want the freeze. In our case, click in row 13, column I. Then select Freeze Panes. Now, as you scroll, the rows above 13 and the columns to the left of I remain constant. There is also another way to navigate a large sheet. You can view different sections of the sheet at the same time. Each section will have its own scroll bar. Let us divide this sheet into two parts horizontally. Click the cell in the row where you want to split the sheet. Then go to the View tab and click Split. As you can see, both parts now have separate scroll bars. You can also split the sheet vertically by selecting a column and clicking Split. To remove the split, simply click Split again. That's all for this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. Filtering lets you display only the information you want, while hiding the rest. Imagine you have a table with employee, department, salary, and joining date. To apply a filter, click anywhere inside your data. Then go to the Data tab and click the Filter button. Or, you can also click the Filter option on the Home tab. Small drop-down arrows will now appear at the top of each column. Let's filter the Department column. Click the arrow, uncheck Select All, and then choose Only Finance. After pressing OK, Excel shows only the rows where the department is Finance, hiding everything else. Filters also include advanced options. In number columns, you can filter values greater than a certain amount. For example, click the arrow on top of the salary column. Now hover your mouse over the number filters option. You will see many filter options, such as equal, not equal, greater than, less than, and so on. Let's say we want to display only those employees whose salary is above $50,000. Click on Greater Than, enter the value 50,000, and then click OK. Only the employees in the finance department with a salary above $50,000 are now displayed. In text columns, you can filter for items that begin with or contain a specific word. For example, suppose we want to display only employees whose names start with the letter F. Open the filter and select Text Filters. Choose Begins with and enter the letter F. Now only Frank is displayed, because his name starts with the letter F. To remove the filter, simply click the Filter button again. Or clear the filter directly from the drop-down menu. Filtering is a powerful way to focus only on the information you need, without deleting or moving any data. Formulas can use numbers, cell references, operators, and functions. A formula always starts with an equal sign. Let us try a basic formula. We can see in cell E10 there is value 10, while in cell F10 there is a value of 12. Now to add these two numbers and getting the result in cell G10. Type equal in G10 cell, or select the cell and type equal in formula bar at the top of the sheet. Now click the first cell, which is E10, then plus, and then click on cell F10. Press Enter. We got the answer, which is 22. You can see the formula in the formula bar when the cell is selected. To edit a formula, press F2 or double-click the cell. You can mix numbers and references. For example, type equal, then J13 into 0.15. To calculate 15% of J13. Here, 0.15 is an absolute value while J13 refers to a cell in column J and row 13. Cell references point to values and update automatically when those values change. Change the value of J13, and the result will change accordingly. You can reference cells on other sheets as well. For example, to access on value in sheet 1 and cell G10, type this. And then press enter, and the value is brought here. Let's start with the sum function. Sum is used to add numbers together. For example, if we want to add the values from cell B2 down to B10, we write equals sum, open parentheses, B2 colon B10, close parentheses. Press enter, and Excel adds all the numbers in that range. This is much faster and safer than typing each number with plus signs. Next is the average function. This function calculates the mean of numbers in a range. For instance, if you want the average of the values in B2 through B10, type this. Excel adds the numbers, divides by the count of numbers, and gives you the average. Now let's look at the min function. Min finds the smallest number in a range. Suppose you have quantity in cells C2 to C10. Let us type the function. Excel will return the lowest score. This is a quick way to identify the minimum value without scanning manually. On the other side, we have the max function. Max finds the largest number in a range. Using the same quantity example, type this. And then press enter. It will instantly show you the highest score. This helps in finding the maximum sales, highest marks, or largest expenses. Finally, we have the count function. Count is used to count how many cells in a range contain numbers. For example, equals count, B2, B10, will tell you how many numeric entries exist in that range. It ignores text and blank cells. If you want to count all non-empty cells, including those with text, you should use the counta function instead. Remember, functions can also accept multiple ranges. For example, you can write to add numbers from two different columns at the same time. A useful tip: Excel shows helpful prompts when you start typing a function. Always pay attention to these tooltips, they remind you what arguments the function expects. Let's begin with AutoSum. AutoSum is the fastest way to insert a sum formula into your worksheet. Here's how it works. First, select the blank cell directly below a column of numbers. Then, on the Home tab or the Formulas tab, click the AutoSum button. Excel will automatically guess the range of numbers and insert a formula that looks like this: equals sign, sum, and then the range inside parentheses. Simply press enter, and the total will appear. If you need more than just the sum, click the small drop-down next to AutoSum. From here, you can quickly insert other common functions such as average, count numbers, maximum, or minimum. This makes it really easy to perform basic calculations without manually typing formulas. Now, let's say you have several columns of numbers and you want totals for all of them at once. Simply select the entire block of numbers, including the row where you want the totals to appear, and click AutoSum. Excel will automatically create some formulas for each column in one step. Excel also gives you tools to check numbers quickly without inserting any formulas. For example, when you select a range of numbers, look down at the status bar at the bottom of Excel. You will see instant values such as sum, average, and count displayed automatically. This is very handy when you just need a quick check. Another tool is Quick Analysis. When you highlight a block of numbers, a small Quick Analysis button may appear near your selection. Click it and choose Totals. From here, you can instantly add sum, average, or other quick functions directly into your sheet. That's all for AutoSum and quick functions. These tools are small, but they save a lot of time and effort. Let's start with relative references. Relative references are the default in Excel. They change automatically when you copy a formula. For example, if cell B2 contains the formula equals A2 times 1.1 and you drag the fill handle down, Excel updates it. The formula becomes equals A3 times 1.1 equals A4 times 1.1 and so on. This makes it very useful when working with lists of numbers. Now, let's look at absolute references. Absolute references stay fixed even when copied. You use the $sign to lock the row and the column. In order to understand absolute reference, we have a tax value of 0.5. In column D, we want to apply this tax rate to each value of column A. Type equal in D2, then multiply A2 with tax rate, which is in cell J10. Press Enter. Now apply the same formula to the cells downward. The other cells have the value of 0 now, because the formula in each is referring to other cells, rather than the tax rate. To fix this issue, we use absolute reference. Put $sign before column and row name in the formula. Now drag it to other cells, and this time in each cell, the reference remains the same. In front of us, we have a table of students with their obtained marks. The students who have more than 80 marks are passed. Else, they are failed. To do this automatically with a formula, we use an if condition. The if function tests a condition and returns one value if the condition is true, and another if it is false. The syntax is equals if, open bracket, logical test, comma, value if true, comma, value if false, close bracket. For example, to mark students as pass or fail based on a score in cell B2, type this formula in cell C2. Press Enter, and you can see this student is passed, because his marks are more than 80. Now copy the formula down the column to apply it to all students. The if function can also return numbers, text, or even other formulas. In this sheet, we have employees with their salaries given. We want to give a bonus to the employees who have a salary more than $50,000. For that, type the formula in cell C2. This means, if the value in column B is greater than 50,000, the employee will get a bonus shown in column C. If not, then no bonus will be assigned. Charts help you visualize data. They turn numbers into clear, meaningful visuals. Let's start with a simple dataset showing monthly sales data. To make a chart of the data, select your data, go to the Insert tab, and click on the Recommended Charts button. You'll see different chart types like column, line, pie, hierarchy, and many others. Choose a column chart for now. Excel instantly converts your data into a chart. You can see the chart title, the horizontal and vertical axes, and the legend. If Excel mixes up your data, go to the Chart Design tab and click Switch Row or Column. Charts update automatically if you change your data, which makes them perfect for reports and dashboards. Now we'll learn how to create line and pie charts in Excel. Line charts are perfect for showing trends over time. Let's take a dataset of website visitors per month. Select the data, go to Insert, choose Line Chart, and pick Line with Markers. You'll see the trend of visitors clearly across months. You can right-click on the line to add a trend line if you want to show overall direction. Adjust axis bounds and grid lines from the Format Axis panel for a clean look. Next, let's create a pie chart. Use data where values represent parts of a total, such as traffic sources or product shares. Select the data and insert a 2D pie chart. To emphasize a specific slice, click and drag it outward. This is called exploding a slice. You can add data labels with both category names and percentages. Remember, pie charts work best with up to 6 categories. If you have more, use a bar chart instead.